The immediate issue for convening this press conference is the news report in the Daily News front page that there had been a rumor about a leak, a radioactive leak in the Kudankulam nuclear plant. And this was denied by the High Commissioner, Indian High Commissioner, saying that this is only a rumor. Now this itself is very important. First of all, whether it is a rumor or whether it's an actual fact has to be established scientifically, technologically. That is a responsibility that the Indian state and the Sri Lankan state both have to their people. You can't just dismiss something as being rumors. Secondly, there's enough evidence also that this is not the first time that there has been a leak. Some people claim that there have been continuous leaks in this particular plant. So it's not a question of denying it as a rumor, but it is a question of taking responsibility as states to ensure that facts are addressed, truth is spoken. Now the Kudankulam power plant, we are opposed to this for a range of reasons. First of all, most fundamentally, we are opposed to this plant because of the very real potential threat to the entire ecological system in the area, in the whole region, plus the potential threat to life and livelihood of millions of people in this whole area of impact. Already within a radius of 30 kilometers, there's 1 million people who have been evicted just for the sake of this plant. Secondly, the siting of this plant is questionable because, as the previous speakers mentioned, there have been instances of this is an earthquake-prone area. It has been affected by the tsunami. So why do you need to install a nuclear power plant in such a vulnerable area which will have such intolerable human costs and costs to the ecological environment, violating the basic human and democratic rights of the people of Kudankulam itself? Why? This is the whole ideology of development, capitalist neoliberal development, which says that it doesn't matter the cost to the ecology or to human life or to the quality of life. What matters is profit for big, huge companies, global multinational empires, which are referred to as the nuclear mafia. These people employ scientists and hide the facts, distort the facts, and try to give a picture that nuclear energy is very safe. But history has shown repeatedly that nuclear energy is not safe. The science, the technology regarding nuclear energy has not developed to the point where we can say with certainty, with scientific certainty, that it is safe. You know the experience of Chernobyl, 3 Mile Island, Fukushima. Now Fukushima was supposed to have had the most advanced technology, yet it could not withstand an unexpected natural disaster. But the technology being installed in Kudankulam is not even of the standard of Fukushima. This is obsolete technology that Russia wants to export to developing countries. Everybody, Germany is giving up nuclear energy, Russia is giving up nuclear energy, America is climbing down, scaling down its nuclear program, but the nuclear mafia has to sell this technology. So India is ready to take it, and Sri Lanka is next in line to be bought by this nuclear mafia, And already the bribes are taking place, the discussions, negotiations are going on to make this also a nuclear-prone, a nuclear-based economy. Now people can say that there have been certifications. The Indian Environment Authority has provided certification. The Indian Supreme Court has authorized this plant. But we as civil society, we are not concerned about this certification. The only certification that is legitimate and reliable is the international certification which has not been obtained for this plant. We all know that local environmental authorities do not function independently. Even in Sri Lanka right now, with the permission, the certification of the environmental authorities, incredible ecological damage is taking place in Kalpitiya, Monaragala, Singaraja forest, everywhere. This is with official certification. So official certification is no guarantee of scientific validity. Environmental authorities have also become a political tool of vested interest. So who can we believe? Now the most important thing is the complicity of the Sri Lankan state in this matter. What is the responsibility of the Sri Lankan state to its own people? At first, the Sri Lankan state had negotiations with India, and they wanted guarantees, safety standards, monitoring mechanisms, early warning systems. They actually wanted these things. But the Indian government unilaterally told the Sri Lankan government that they will play no role in monitoring. And the Sri Lankan state accepts this. It accepts this because they have other political diplomatic dealings with the Indian state. This Mahinda Rajapaksa regime is willing to sacrifice the entire country and the future of these people because of its political survival and its dealings with India, and therefore it's playing down this whole thing of taking responsibility for monitoring early warning systems. So there is no talk today about any safety measures or early warning systems. It is like capitulating to the Indian agenda. Now, we have to get together as civil society and the media especially. We urge our media friends to highlight this point, that the government of Sri Lanka is responsible first and foremost to defend the lives of its people. That is its primary obligation, defending the life of its people. If it cannot do that, then it has no right to exist. So please contribute, participate in raising this concern, where we can hold the Sri Lankan authorities and the Sri Lankan state responsible for the ecological threats and the threat to human life and security in Sri Lanka. That is, the best that we can do is to force the government of Sri Lanka to be accountable to its people and to take responsibility, but it doesn't stop there. It also means that we have to build our links of solidarity with the people of South India in their struggle against the Kudankulam plant. We are doing that. We are building solidarity, and we expect to build this into a powerful movement against Kudankulam nuclear power plant, and beyond that, against the reliance on nuclear energy itself, so that humankind can think of an alternative way where we can live with nature, coexist with nature, and live with peace and brotherhood, sisterhood among each other as human beings. So this is a larger issue, but Kudankulam today concentrates a struggle to save planet Earth, to save humankind, and to think of a whole new way of organizing life.